I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah.
No introduction really necessary. Get the message like a secretary. Boy, I'm legendary. When I'm dead and buried, still be kicking flavor in the cemetery.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Los Angeles Rams. With that, we're off to L.A. for the Rams home opener in their third season back home. Standing by, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Los Angeles Rams. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And the offense, my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many games, maybe not any games.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 20 carries, 78 yards.
As a good start to the season, they got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started, and they expect that to get tuned up and get...
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not well.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. On third down, Roethlisberger under pressure again, and down he goes again. Zach Cunningham in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. To throw from his end zone. Love steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. They go play action here on first down. He's going to let this go deep. Back over the... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A huge play that time for the Rams. 49 yards.
Let's face it, it's tough to defend guys just in regular time. But when they get extra time, when the guy maneuvers outside of the pocket, that's just almost unfair because now trying to stay with the receiver, very, very difficult to do, and a big play.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. Operating from the gun, Love. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 106 yardage-wise, and the score as well. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league end up being.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Zach Cunningham, he's the one to get it, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Zach Cunningham in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the first quarter of play. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison. On 3rd down, Love. Wide open receiver complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Love flushed out right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Back to throw. Love dancing to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Edwards. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They give him a gain of 38. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. In for the score. And the Rams are in for 6. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
Delayed game, offense.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they got... begin the drive with Ajayi. Able to fight through one tackle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his run.
Now big hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Rams have got it back. A lot of times we talk about being opportunistic as a defense as a whole. Right now, it's becoming just one guy on this defense.
And he is doing such a fantastic job because everyone emphasizes taking the ball away, going after the football. But some people just have a special knack.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. DJ Moore, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. It hasn't been his day. It hasn't been their day to this point, but some kudos to this crowd. This is not an easy environment to play in.
And they have to be really excited because they feel like they're having an impact on the game. The visiting quarterback not playing very well. Their team not doing well. They're helping their home team out. Now, if you're that quarterback, though, you've got to find a way to hurt that crowd. And the only way to do that, make good plays and try and calm them down.
I'm sure he's thinking it starts right here on this drive. They run with Ajayi. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, when he feels the pressure, naturally he likes going to his left, as most left-handed quarterbacks do. But this time he tries to let this go on the run, and it's going to wind up getting intercepted.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy at his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to.
Rush coming, and he he's taken down. Zach Cunningham in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. The Raiders on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Now Ben on 3rd and long. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Curry. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. As his guys are in for 6. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. Gostkowski with the extra point, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. 5 plays there on that drive, and it ends with an Oakland touchdown. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That one brought in by his tight end, Adam Shaheen. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. On 1st and 10, Love being chased out left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Khalil Mack able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Here we go. 190.
To throw on 3rd down. Love escaping the pressure right. And he's got his target. That's more. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Flex round! Ohio!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. On 3rd down, Love. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. From the gun, Love. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. They'll start out on the ground with a jive. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Looking to throw. Love. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kaiser White, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. Now being hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Rams have got it back.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
And it caught up to him. Following the fumble recovery, Love forced out to his left. And this one's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 27-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Off the play fake. Love. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Raiders have recovered.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Following the fumble recovery, Love eluding the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 22. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
But we just saw them run the football really effectively there with 3 tight ends in the game. And any defensive coordinator, when they see that set, if they can get more bodies out onto the field, not more than 11, of course, but bigger bodies to combat what they're going to do, because that's a run-heavy formation. Those guys are out there to block 9 times out of 10, and in this case, they did it really successfully.
And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Now Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. And there they bring pressure from the inside and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
Now the Rams offense, they worked their way back on the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
They had enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Eddie Jackson with a tackle. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Now a play fake here on first down. Buying time to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, Adam Shaheen, that time. And that'll bring up second down.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
To throw again. Love. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Off play action. Love. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Or has the scouting report changed? Or they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Evan Ingram, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
Gostkowski for the point after. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And it's now 17-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he'll get this out to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Grand 38. Grand 38. Ohio.
On first down, Love flush to his right. From the left side, it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Powering his way forward. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Operating from the gun. Love, flushed out right. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. DJ Moore with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Rams have taken the lead here in the 4th. So he had to lay out for it in the end zone. Spectacular job.
And nowadays, while we admire the dive, what's the next thing that we're always doing?
Hang on to that football through the play.
The process of the catch was almost obscuring how great a dive it was for the ball, but what a tremendous play, and that resulted in a touchdown.
Extra point tacked on by Lambo, and that will make this a 4-point game. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he fires one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game starts to open up as the game moves on.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. From the gun, Love steps away to his left. And he's got it. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Lambo to add on the extra point. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Davante Adams, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders are back within a score. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
This fielded at the 2. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Back to throw. Love. And that is incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys. Because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was.
Touchdown, LA! For the score, and the Rams add on to their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Extra point tacked on by Lambo, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Brandon LaFell, the intended receiver, and now it's second down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for a loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out and out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now it's Roethlisberger. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Looking to throw. Love. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. As his guys are in for 6. And the Rams add on to their lead. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants him to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something."
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Zach Cunningham in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Caught on the right side by Adams. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. The Raiders on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Set. Blue 30.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. This is taken at the 23. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Ohio! Ohio!
That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Back to throw. Love. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Love. And the Raiders have got him. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Throwing on 1st down. Love. Going right side here, and that's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, a 22. Operating from the gun. Love. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, Love. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. In for the score. And the Rams add on to their lead.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it? Yeah. This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Roethlisberger will throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will